Good evening. You're listening to Adrenaline Radio, 1680 AM on your dial. I'm Fred Blanchard, host of Adrenaline Motorsports. Our program is from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Friday. And we have in-studio guests this evening, Ben York from Roseville Rod and Custom. Another thing that I noticed that there was a car there that looked like it had just come back from the drag races, and I was just wanting to know, it was a 32 also. It had the name of some kind of garage on there, and why don't you tell us a little bit about that car? I noticed it up on the stand there, and you guys were looking at doing something with it. Why don't you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's a car that we had a hand in helping the construction of it. It started out as a Brizio-built 32. We helped out Brian Basquez, a local customer of ours. He got it going in the beginning as a street rod. It's black. It's a 32 Roadster, and he had just a 350 Chevy in it. He drove it around for a couple of years to car shows and things like that, and started wanting more performance out of the car. So he got into 8th mile bracket racing with it, and the last 3 or possibly 4 years, he has taken it back to Indy, to the Good Guys show, where they have Hot Rod of the Year competition, and they have a drag race for everybody that wants to enter their car.
Aside from hot rods and custom cars, you do collectibles. I mean, when I was there was a gentleman there that had a LaSalle coupe, which was a vintage 38 or 39 coupe, and it was kind of near and dear to my heart. I didn't have one as nice as that, but I had one when I went to high school. That was kind of the latter part of my experience with the high school, and I drove a LaSalle, and it was a mighty powerful car. But then now you're doing these classic cars, which there's no end to what you guys do. In other words, you can do the finest of classics, or you can do hot rods, or you can do the custom build with all the exotic components. And as again, the subject we just spoke about early on, it was the custom framework you're building for this Mercury that you're going to eventually, for Mike Morales, that you're going to eventually have together one of these days. Based on his choosing, of course. But talk to me a little bit about your customer there that has that LaSalle coupe. I understand he's an interesting gentleman in his own right.
Yeah, he's a car collector that he's got, I believe, 6 cars, and we've restored 3 of them in the last, I think, year and a half. This last go around, we did 2 at once. We started off first by doing a 40 LaSalle coupe. Then after we got that one finished, he brought in a 41 Cadillac convertible. We completely went through that, and about a month after we started on that, he brought in a 50 Olds coupe, and we completely restored that and finished them up at the same time, and took them to the Sacramento Autorama, where the Oldsmobile won Best Overall Restored and the Lee's Vintage Auto Restoration Award. So we were real happy about those 2 cars, and that he's really a great customer. He likes anything, that's kind of old and unique, and just really enjoys being around the classic cars, working on the classic cars. He does a lot of maintenance and things like that himself, and just really fun to work with.
Well, the detail on the cars is what got me. I'm somewhat familiar with what it takes, but it sounded like to me, and it looked like to me, that these were exact parts. I mean, these weren't something that somebody fabricated. This was something that came from that era of car, and it was like what car guys do today, like a numbers car. I mean, everything has to match. Well, this LaSalle that I saw was kind of that quality, it looked like to me. And you mentioned that when he wants a car done, he wants it done now. But it sounded like to me that he had it in another shop. Was that one of these cars that was at someplace else at one time?
Yeah, he had a LaSalle that was built by another shop, and when he got it done, there was just some some issues, some fine tuning of brakes and things like that we had done for him on other cars that he really wanted, to bring in and have us fine tune some of those adjustments and things like that.
Well, I got to tell you, one of the other, I keep on finding other things to talk about here, but you had in the shop what appeared to be my real question is, do you guys obviously you're doing motor work too, or you're installing engines based on what the customer wants? Talk to me a little bit about the engine installations you've done.
Yeah, we don't do the actual machine work and assembly of the engine itself, but we do engine repairs, engine installs, engine changes, and it all depends on what the customer wants as a power plant. Every single car is different. Everybody's got a different idea of, do they want power, do they want reliability? So we really never get stuck into one engine, one kind of car. And probably part of the problem is I started the shop so young. If I knew then what I know now, I would probably pick a specialty, because a big issue that comes up is we do everything from restorations to some performance cars, to street rods, to hot rods, to people trying to build an exact era hot rod. So every day, every car, every project is going in a different direction, and I've kind of got to keep with what I'm trying to do and what all the employees are trying to get done on their projects, and trying to figure out what parts to get, hardware, plumbing supplies, wiring supplies. We try to keep everything we can on hand in the shop, and we've been collecting and picking the best parts that we like to use and stocking them for the use in the shop. Because if you have to, if you're trying to wire a car and you have to stop to drive 10 miles to go get a couple spools of wire, you just can't make any money. You can't get anything done on time. You're just spinning your wheels. So we try to stock all of that stuff.